Uganda has a liberalized power sector. Although there's not much to compare between South Africa and Uganda's power sectors, South Africa can still draw lessons. Only 20% of Uganda's population is electrified compared to South Africa's 90%. The generation capacity of Uganda is smaller at around 800 megawatts, far less than 40,000 megawatts of South Africa. 3 years ago, Uganda also experienced a supply versus demand challenges, where 30% of its demand was not being met. But it took bold steps to rectify this. It now boasts the largest private sector participation in Africa.
Private sector participation has helped us to meet the demand for power in our country. It's quite an interesting model, because if you leave the investment needs to the public sector alone may not be able to cope with the required investment needs of the sector, because the public sector has other competing priorities. South Africa should work hard to prioritize private sector investment in power generation.
South Africa is not alone in its troubles. Zimbabwe is not only contending economic challenges but also electrification. The country is currently working towards developing sufficient generation capacity by 2017.
Now we have started the new projects which we needed to come in so that we are able to close the supply gap. And as you are aware, the region as a whole does not have sufficient excess capacity. Therefore, what we could have used to bridge the gap would have been imports. But for now, there isn't much of that. And we are hoping that for those who have already started implementing their own projects ahead of us, the power demand gap on our side will also be reduced earlier, because we will then also have access to those who have excess capacity.
Around 250 million people in sub-Saharan Africa have no access to electricity, and according to the International Energy Agency, gas and renewable power are expected to be the two major sources of energy growth on the African continent in the coming years. The EIA forecasts that those with electricity will rise to 960 million by 2040. That means more than 500 million people will still remain without electricity. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.